Well, hello, boys and girls. Are you ready for today's art project? Okay, you're gonna need this red piece of paper that when you open it up, looks like it's your Octopus Art Project, okay? You're gonna need a pencil, scissors, you're gonna need a white and brown crayon, okay? And then you're gonna need your containers of 3 paints, okay? First, we're gonna start with our brown crayon, okay? So you're gonna take your brown crayon. If it has the paper on it, you're gonna want to take the paper off. And then we're going to do a rub, okay? So if you need to take your paper off of your crayon, then go ahead and pause the video and do that. And I'm gonna continue rubbing my octopus. So class, remember we use a flat edge when we do the rub, okay? We're not coloring it in. We're just taking a brown rub over our octopus. Okay. Once you have the brown rub on, then I want you to get your white crayon. Okay, the white crayon and actually your black crayon too. I forgot to get out my black. So get your white and black crayon out. Okay. No, I'm looking for my black still. Oh, there it is. So we're gonna take our black crayon and we're gonna color the inside pupils here of our eyes. Black. Okay, then we're gonna take the white crayon and we're gonna color the outside of the eyes, okay? Just like we have white around our pupils, don't we, of our eyes? Okay, and of course we have color too. Some of us have brown eyes. Some of us have blue eyes. Some of us may have green eyes or hazel color eyes. So I'm going to shade in white, okay, and do the other side as well. Before you start painting, class, I want to remind you that you need to have paper towels ready because we're not using a brush. We're actually using our finger today. So you're going to need to be able to wipe off your fingers or your finger in between the colors, okay, before you switch colors. Okay, then class, what I want you to do is I want you to cut out your octopus. Class, don't cut along the lines here yet. Just cut along the outer edge, okay? So these lines here will cut after our paint dries. Okay. And I'll use an example during this video of a finished product to go over what you're going to do after the paint dries, okay? Because you know, once I paint, my paint's gonna still be wet. There's not enough time for me to wait for it to dry. So once I finish cutting, class, if you're not finished yourself, you're gonna wanna pause the video, okay? Sample here. Yeah, and then class, when you get to the edge here, just cut straight across. Here, touching the end of each of the lines, okay? Just like that, okay? Then throw this scrap away. Okay, class, so if you're not done cutting, go ahead and pause the video as I'm going to continue with the painting aspect. So again, pause the video now if you're not done cutting. Okay, class, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our paints, okay? We're gonna start with one color at a time. I'm going to start with yellow first. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example here of what it will look like when you're all done. So we're just gonna randomly put dots around our octopus, okay? So again, we're not cutting these lines yet until after our paint dries. So I'm gonna start with yellow first. I'm gonna dip my finger in it and use my index finger and dot. Okay, you'll notice that I'm not spreading the paint around. I'm only dotting the paint with my dip and dot, dip and dot. Okay. Sideways a little bit so you can see. And I'm going all the way down, okay? And I want to make sure that my dots are solid. Sometimes when you dot with your fingers, sometimes some of the paint comes back up with your finger. So, and maybe one more right here. That's about it. Okay, that I'm going to do with yellow. And then I'm going to put the lid back on my yellow. Okay, wipe my finger off. And then I'm going to do black next. So I'm going to get my black. And again, dip and dot. And I should have given you enough class to complete this project, okay? And again, class, before you move on to the next color, just check each of your dots, and you want to make sure that you don't need to add any more paint because some of the paint may have come up when you lifted up your finger. And you'll see that I'm just touching up as needed. Okay, and I think that's about it. So I'm going to cap my black. I think one of my favorite colors to use is gold. So that's next. Of course, class, you'll want to wash your hands when you're all done, okay? Just get as much of the paint as you can off your finger. And then I'm moving to gold, okay? Notice my gold, it's been sitting a while, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to dry off my finger, scrape off my finger, and then I'm going to dry it a little bit. Only because that gold did not look like it needed to be mixed. It's been sitting for a good month, okay? And then again, dip and dot. So remember, class, after you finish painting with your finger, like finger painting, isn't it? You're going to want to let this sit to dry fully, okay? Before you go on to the next stage. But I will explain the next step in this video, so you'll know what to do after it dries, okay? Right here, and I think maybe right here. I love the gold. I think it's my favorite. It just shines so sparkly. Okay, class, so I'm going to dry off my finger. I'm going to put the lid on my gold, and then we'll go over what you do at the very end once your paint is completely dry. Make sure it's completely dry though before you move on to this next step, okay? So I'm gonna move this to the side so it can dry, and I'm gonna pull out my sample. So here's my sample here. What you're going to do after the paint dries is you're gonna cut, you guys know that there's lines going up the bottom here, right? So you're gonna wanna cut straight up those lines, each of those lines. Then what we wanna do is the tentacles of the octopus, we wanna take our pencil and we wanna roll it. Okay, so far. And again, you'll notice in just a moment that I did different heights of my rolls. I didn't roll them up to be the same length, okay? Then after you get to the point that you want to stop at, pull out your pencil and then let it go, okay? Then again, you want some longer tentacles and you want some shorter tentacles, okay? So again, once you get to the place you want it, pull out your pencil, let it go, okay? So you'll see that I have some shorter, some longer, okay? But again, you're just taking your pencil, your tentacles after you cut it and rolling it. And once you get to the height you want, okay, pull it out, okay? And then again, your octopus tentacles, okay? Once you're all done. Okay, I'll have a picture of this on your slide for you to see and reference. Have fun today, okay? And send me a picture of your completed project when you're all finished through your Class Dojo account.